What's up, Solar Warriors? Today is Tuesday, October 22nd, 2024. If you're watching this recording on YouTube, don't forget to like, share, subscribe with fellow solarpreneurs. And yeah, this is Tuesday training. We have a special edition with you. I got my co-host down in Southern California. Where are you, Jonathan?
We are at Gayu Construction live in Riverside. Say what's up, guys. Good morning. We're here with Cynthia, Marisa, Mohammed, Julian, Todd Borden just walked in, Jonathan Charles Wilson's on his way, and a few other SoCal rock stars. So we're excited to be coming live from one of the top premier installers in Southern California. And guys, this place is clean. They have one of the most immaculate warehouses you can ever imagine. This is their conference room. Oh, look who walked in. So we're pumped to be here, Jarrett.
Awesome. Yeah, no, Gayu Construction, definitely one of the most premier EPCs in Southern California. My favorite for sure. I actually win so many deals when I help out a homeowner in Southern California, when I'm showing them who we are and who's going to be doing their work. I simply just go on Google. I Google Gayu Construction Solar. They pop up. And what do you see? Over 1,000 reviews with a 5-star rating. I explained to them, you guys, this is a contractor who's putting holes in people's roofs for a living, and they have a 5-star rating with over 1,000 reviews. That seals the deal every time. I mean, this mug right here, but between combination of the two, deadly. So definitely take advantage of that. Especially if you're an enterprise and have the ability to select your EPC, which a lot of us do. Yeah, select Gayu Construction, get the job done right the first time. So with that said, we're going to move on to success stories like we do every single week. But we're going to do a Gayu Construction edition. So let's just start in the room. Jonathan, tell us about all your success, maybe how your success is anchored and related to power or something like that.
I'm glad you asked that, Jarrett. We're going to share a few success stories from the room today since we're live. But I've been lucky to have 12 deals signed since August 1st.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh, thanks, everyone. Thank you. So I'm just so thankful that I have the ability to sell awesome loans, lease and educate my clients and have amazing solar panels and Tesla batteries and the right pricing to win these deals. And also it affords me the lifestyle to be able to have a house in Vegas, come back here to Southern California, see my friends, family, hang out on the beach with my parents, and then go back tomorrow to Vegas after my 44 panel install and 3 power walls tomorrow in Yorba Linda. If you want to come, let me know, but I'm excited for that installation. Guys, in 64 days, sale to install with Gayu Construction, yours truly. So that's what I'm thankful for. We'll move down the row here now.
Solar with Cynthia. Hello.
So just success story, right? Last night I signed up a deal, so that was nice. And the power of our platform, I was able to make dinner right before the deal, sell a deal, then tuck my kids in. So it's nice to be on Zoom and work from wherever we want.
Hey Marisa.
So all right, success story. So don't want to talk about the deal, the install that I just had last week. What I actually wanted to talk about was the fact that I get to take my 1.5-year-old to Costa Rica next month. I just went and got him a passport. So cute. And he's not even 2 yet. So my success story, or my what I want to say about Power is I love the fact that I have the ability to close deals and how it changed my life. Some of you may or may not know I adopted my child 2 years ago. And I do that. I give all of that to Power. It was because of Power and how I was able to restructure everything. So that's kind of my success story. But I've got my 2-year-old. We're about to do Halloween coming up here, and he gets to go to Costa Rica. And yeah, thank you, Power.
Love it. Love it. Thank you, Marisa.
Halloween is a great time to put out yard signs, door hangers, and trick or treat that solar, everybody. All right, Mohammed.
Morning, guys. My success stories, I would say October is a very good month. I have 5 installs this month and 1 pending to be scheduled, so hopefully 6. But yeah, October is a good month for installation, which is, again, platform is allowing me to sell virtually. Most of them are in Illinois. I have 1 in California, so that's a beautiful platform. So
Awesome.
Sweet.
And,
Right on. And can I
Mohammed-
join the party really quick? I just want to join the party because I'd like
Oh,
to share
no.
my success story. Oh,
We have
we got more
We have
people.
one more. One more.
Hold on. JC Dub, what's up, dude?
Hey, what's up? What's up? All right, so super excited. We have a 60 kilowatt 4 Tesla Powerwall 3 system going up right now in Fort Lauderdale with
Hold on.
Sunectric.
Say that again.
60 kW 4 Tesla Powerwall 3s. It's a $230,000 cash project. If you're out there, Jared, you rock, brother. He brought this one in. We've got 2 other ones, actually one that's even bigger. They got a helicopter pad on the roof, so we're expecting another couple 60 kW systems in the next little bit here. So yeah, there's the
Let's
railing.
go.
Oh,
Thanks.
my God.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Love it.
6 kilowatts in Florida, guys. Woo.
Does JTB got a success story back there? I mean, come on, bro. We can't leave you out.
You're thankful for.
I'm getting a phone call. That's a success.
He has to go sell a deal right now. That guy's too
Okay.
busy.
All
All
right.
right, Jared,
Um,
take it back. Take it back, sir.
Yeah, just really quick, I just wanted to, this is pretty cool. Yesterday, I got a referral from one of my very first deals back in 2019. He was like, brother-in-law needs a system. Met with them last night. Get this, you guys. They were quoted from Sunrun. 26 panel system with 2 Tesla Powerwalls. You ready for this? You ready for the price, the cash price? $98,000 is what they were quoted. $98,000. I'm like, are they trying to do like a 0.99 interest, 40% dealer fee? That is insane. So I have an appointment with them tonight, but so cool. And speaking of virtual, this was back when I was traveling in Idaho. I did my first deal at a coffee shop. Literally went into a coffee shop, was like, you guys got Wi-Fi, helped them go solar. And now, 5 years later, I'm helping out their family. So want to share that. We got 2. Thank you. We have 2, and then we got to go because we got a packed house. Bill and Andre, if you guys could do it quick. Aleyu, Jesus, man, you're just squeezing yourself in there like that. Bill, you got
really quick. I just want to say that next week I get the privilege of going down and picking up Chris and Janine Collier on the way down to San Diego so that we can go to build a home for someone in Mexico. And I got to tell you that my whole life I wrestled with going on a mission, for church, but I could never go because I worked 7 days a week. It was jammed up, never had any time, couldn't do it. And now with Power, I get a chance to win a trip to go build a home for somebody in Mexico. I couldn't be more excited.
That's incredible. Thank you for sharing that. That is one of the just lovely things we get to do here at Power. All right. Is it Andre?
Yep, Andre. Hey guys. I'm at
I'm at
EXP Realty and Power Solar, and one of our agents at EXP became an ambassador, referred a deal over. I teamed up with Jordan Shaw, and we're installing, I believe, next week or in the next 2 weeks. But M1 just came through and all that, so good to go.
Let's go. Great job, Andre. And Aleyu, what's up, homie?
Hey, a couple of wins last week tied together. I got 11.91 kilowatt system, 3 Tesla Powerwall 3s, a new roof, $96,000. But the second part of that win was it was a roofer that I've established a relationship with, who I brought on as a lead generator, and he's making more on his lead generator than he is on his roof. So it's a big win for him, big win for us.
Incredible, brother. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. I thought you were going to tell us about like 6 more homeowners in that HOA that went solar.
3 more.
3 more. 3 more. All right. Hey, thank you everybody for sharing your wins. So many. We got them plentiful over here at Power. We are going to skip Tom's, quotes of wisdom, because everybody just say a little prayer, man. He's on a cruise ship and he's searching for Dramamine right now, trying to make his way back to the States at rough seas abroad. So we're going to go ahead and move that. We have some events and future trainings. Jonathan, what's on the schedule?
All right, a few quick updates for you guys before we jump to the training today. So last week we had operations and maintenance training. Find the recording on Jarrett's YouTube, my YouTube. Today we have Hanwha QCells. And then on the 28th next week, we have the Grand Slam event with Zach Bach, Edgardo, and Jonathan Budd wrapping it up. Tuesday next week, we have Brady Anderson from Business Development with Powur Corporate talking to us about recruiting installers, enterprise, pitch deck, some great content for you guys. Powur Day, November 9th. It's hybrid. If you want to do it in person, get together like we are today, you're going to hear an hour or two of a virtual presentation, and then you can do some in-person masterminding as well. That's going to be big. There's going to be new announcements coming November 9th. And then we have a tentative date for a win back campaign, November 18th. More information to come there. And again, here is the October 28th event and the November 9th event. All the details are in Powur calendar. If you want to invest and become a shareholder of Powur, in addition to the stocks you already have, go to wefunder.com/Powur and look into investing in some stocks and get some benefits to go with it, like you can see here. There's probably another week and a half, 2 weeks to go ahead and invest in the WeFunder crowd raise. Quick reminder that the Tesla Powerwall 3 does have some constraints on inventory. Likely your installations may be pushed back a few weeks. Please make sure to attend your market development meetings, talk to your leadership about the Teslas and the backup switches, the bus, BUS backup switch. The inventory is going to be tight, especially in SoCal Edison. So there is a memo that's going to be going out to customers and sales reps, but I just want to remind you guys of that. Great time to look into Franklin Solar Edge or Enphase batteries or even Solar Edge batteries right now.
Really quick, Jonathan, on that point, would you recommend, or do you think with the shortage, someone was to sell a project today, 60, 90 days out, do you think that they would still fall within that, oh, we're dealing with shortage or low inventory, or do you think they'd be safe by then? Or hard to say?
We can install in 60 to 70 days, and that's just going to be at the end of December. So I think it is safe to say if you're still selling a Powerwall 3 with the demand of the inventory, that you could experience a few weeks of delays.
Okay.
Better be safe than sorry, and, under promise, over deliver.
Yeah, and just really quick on that note, I know you want to move forward, but you guys, I know we can do 60, 70-day installs, but do not promise your homeowners that we can get these things installed if they sign up today before the end of the year. That is just putting yourself in a bad situation. You much rather say, hey, I'd never say 60, 70 days. I'm always going to say around 90 days. So that way I set the expectation. So that way, if it happens earlier, I look like the good guy rather than setting myself up for failure, because it doesn't always happen that way. This is construction. Just wanted to point that out.
Call out. Yeah, good call out. There's 2 months to go till the end of the year. Now we're going to have weather constraints and rain. Guys, we take holidays. The cities have days off for a week. Every city's different. So great point there, Jarrett. If you attended the Sales Success Lounge last week, throw it in the chat. Let us know how it went. But Rachel McDonald, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 12 to 1 Pacific, is hosting a Sales Success Lounge on Powur calendar. So that's super exciting as well. All right, so let's go ahead and pivot to today's training. We are going to be talking to our amazing account manager, Helga from Hanwha QCells, and she brings a breadth of experience from companies like LG and other companies that she worked with. Hanwha QCells is a very strong partner of Powur. Jonathan Budd even meets with their executive team to discuss strategy and their market share. We're going to hear about from Helga, the brands or technology, and the Q.TRON panels, inventory and what's up with that. And their story, right? How they have a big plant in Georgia. So I don't want to steal too much thunder. I'm going to go ahead and stop my screen sharing. And it was really cool to see Helga last week in Anaheim at a networking event. So Helga, the floor is yours. Take it away. Thank you.
Thank you guys. Great stories. Thank you for selling QCells. For some of you, it will be a repeat. I saw some of you last week in Orange County. So bear with me. Can you guys see my screen?
Looks
Yes.
great.
All good.
Perfect. So I want to talk a little bit about the market in general, as there's a lot of things going on right now. If you guys, I am your rep, so if you have any questions or need any kind of support materials, feel free to email me at this address, helga.canfield@qcells.com. The picture you're looking at is a copy of it's a picture of our factory in Dalton, Georgia. Let me see. Hold on one sec here. So I have a question for you guys. If you were to, and those of you who were in Orange County can't answer because you know the answer. How big do you guys know is the residential PV market in the US roughly in gigawatts, if you were to guess? No bad answers. Anyone have a guess? Don't be shy.
Someone said 650.
650. So megawatts or gigawatts?
Someone said 900 gigawatts.
Ooh, no, that's very, very, very big.
Holy, yeah, that's
Yes, that is very big. So I won't leave you guys hanging. So let me go to the. So these is what the residential market is expected. So as you can see from the bars, we're expected to take a bit of a dip in 2024. So the overall residential PV market is expected to be, you know, a little short of the 6 gigawatts. So last year we did about 7. This year expected about 5.6 gigawatts. So
Helga,
as you can
we're
see,
still
pretty
on-
steady
yeah.
growth. What's
Yeah, I was
that?
gonna say it doesn't look. Your slides aren't changing. So if
Oh.
you're on a different slide, it still shows your lovely picture in front of the QCell building.
Okay, well, that is odd. I am moving through them.
Maybe stop share and start share again, just in case. Oh, there we go.
There we are. Now we see the forecast. What
Okay.
you just
Let me. Can you guys see it now?
Perfect.
Yes.
Yeah, it might be, I might not be able to put it in presentation mode is what I'm guessing.
It's all good.
Sorry, my cat is trying to make an entrance on top of it. Okay, so we're shrinking a little bit this year, which is unfortunate, but to be expected. We all have seen it this year. The recovery is taking longer. It's not just been California, it's just the high interest rates, you know, have definitely taken a toll on the market this year, which is sad to see because it's always been growth, and this is the first year we're actually taking a dip. But like you guys are sharing, October seems to be great. And I feel like definitely Q4 is shaping up to be a good quarter for all of us as well. Then the other thing I wanted to draw your attention to is the next graph. Can you guys see this one? So there is a definite shrinking of the number of brands that you'll see in the market this year. There are import duties. If you look at the graph on the right-hand side, it kind of shows you the countries that all the modules are being imported from into the US. So the Chinese have tariffs. In order to avoid the tariffs, they set up shop in Cambodia, Malaysia, Thailand, Vietnam. So you've probably run across some competitive quotes with brands like VSUN, Talisun, a bunch of tier 2, tier 3 products. I think you guys should be very proud of working for Powur and sticking to top brands, honestly. As a result of these tariffs, and the Chinese avoiding basically China and setting up shop elsewhere, but still dumping product into the US, there are going to be a next round of tariffs. So I think a lot of the brands that you're competing with, you'll start seeing disappear from the market. I do want to warn you guys, I think on the module pricing side, we've probably bottomed out. So pricing is probably going to come up in 2025. It won't be a lot, but there'll be some gradual increases. Just to be 100% transparent with you guys, all module manufacturers are losing money right now. The cost is so low, it's below, the price of modules is so low, it's below our cost. So just keep that in mind. Something you might want to share with homeowners, that it's likely not going to get cheaper from here on out. The deal they're getting today is probably the best deal they're going to see for a long time, to be honest. So any questions on this part? One question I get a lot is what's going to happen with solar, in the election, like depending on whether blue or red wins, right? Is it going to really impact the incentives that are in place? So for us manufacturers, the Inflation Reduction Act was a really big law to pass. It's kind of what Biden wants his legacy to be, is to bring manufacturing back to the US. And that includes solar manufacturing. So the general consensus is if it goes red, Republican House and President, then the 10% tax credit that homeowners are getting today might step down sooner than the 10 years, which would be unfortunate. But ex-President Trump, wants to have an extension of the corporate tax credit cuts, and it has to be paid for. So one of the things they could look at is taking some money out of the Inflation Reduction Act. But overall, because it is law, we don't think that the law will completely be gone. There's not enough support for it. And a lot of the factories on the solar side are actually in Republican southern states. So a lot of the Republican senators are actually on board with keeping, this law in place because it benefits people in their territories, right? So overall, I would say we don't expect major changes unless it's a full red sweep. But other than that, we think solar is safe. As you guys know, former President Trump also is very anti-China. So it's very likely that the tariffs that we're dealing with today as an industry against the Chinese would actually get even stronger. So for us, QCells, we're fully committed to the US. It will actually benefit us because we won't have the tariffs, right? So it's going to be either way for you guys to be aligned with QCells. Hanwha QCells is a safe bet because we don't have any implications for tariffs or any government retaliation, so to speak. So good choice. This is kind of our slogan. We aim for a greener tomorrow with completely clean energy solutions. And I'll elaborate a little bit more on this as we go along. I'm not sure if you guys know, but we are by far the leader in the industry, both in the residential and the commercial space. So if you guys were to guess what market share does QCells have? Any guesses?
Put it in the chat. What percentage of market share do you think they have?
So here's your answer. In the 30s. So we're always somewhere between 30 to 34%. We always have a target on our back. That's how it feels, right? Because the next competitor isn't even in the double digits. And it's difficult to keep the market share, but I actually think we've grown it in the second half. So we're super stoked to see the WoodMac data come out here pretty soon. And you can see some of the brands down here, will probably disappear because of all the import duties. It just doesn't make sense for them to operate in the US anymore. Do you guys know who the parent company is of QCells?
Hanwha.
Very good, indeed. So Hanwha we're Korean. We're a very well diversified, multi-billion-dollar company. And we own Daewoo, a large shipping company. We have a baseball team. We own hotels. We build ships, we build rockets, and we make solar modules, right? So very much diversified, and you kind of need that. Like I said, solar is very difficult space to be in as a manufacturer because the pricing is actually never based on cost. It's based on what the market can bear. So you go from years of profit to years of massive losses. And so it's great to have, other parts of your business that can basically sustain the losses in the solar manufacturing. And that's what we do with the Hanwha backing. So if I show you guys, we've been around since 1999. I think that's definitely something to share with homeowners because we've actually been around longer than the warranty, right? Solar has a super long warranty. I mean, you buy a TV, you buy anything else, it's a 1-2 year warranty. Solar is 25 years. That's an insane long amount of time to have a warranty, right? And if you really start looking at all the layers of the solar industry, there are not very many companies that have actually been around longer than the warranty that they support, right? So again, warranty is only as valuable as the people holding the warranty. And so you have to have the backing of a Hanwha and have the longevity of a company like Hanwha. So really important to point that out to the homeowner because they sometimes get confused because every spec sheet shows 25 years. But, again, it's a worthless piece of paper if the company isn't going to survive to support it, right? So definitely important to point that out. And then I want to kind of pivot into why Hanwha QCells, other than the bankability and the stability of the company, it's our commitment to the US. When you probably see a lot of press releases, company X is making modules in the US. When they say that, they're just, taking cells that are imported and then slapping them into a module in the US, right? This bottom picture that I'm showing you, that's fairly easy to do. You can set up a production line pretty easy. But what Hanwha QCells is doing, we're going to do all the steps in the US. So on the left, you have the raw silicon that gets molten into this sausage over here, right? That's your ingot. So these are all the things that we're going to be doing here in the US. You take that ingot and it gets sliced into wafers. And those are these fragile pieces right here. If you flick it with a finger, the whole thing shatters, right? You guys who used to sell SunPower, you probably know the cell test. That's one of the things they used to use is the little flick test. It's kind of a useless test, to be honest, because this wafer is encapsulated in glass. It's never going to shatter like they do in the tests, but it seems to work with homeowners. So anyway, we are mining this silicon here in the US. Super proud, first one in the US to do this. We're doing this in Washington State by Moses Lake, and we're using hydropower. So we're doing this very cleanly, whereas in China, this is all done with coal, right? So very big distinction in how we do the process here in the US. So once it's a wafer, it gets turned into a cell, and then the cell gets assembled into a module. And these 4 steps here is really what determines the quality of a module. If a lot of manufacturers are buying cells in the open market, and you just have no way of controlling the quality of a cell at that point. So we do this in the US and we do this in Korea. And we're super proud to do this in the US because we're actually the very first to be doing this. What I want to show you next is just some of the announcements, that speak to our investment here in the US. So we invested $2.5 billion to build this factory to do all these steps in the US. And I think one thing to point out is that at QCells, we build factories for the sake of building modules, right? The the layout of the factories is optimized for the process of module manufacturing. So there's super long buildings, football fields long. You guys are ever in Georgia? We do accommodate tours to the factory. Something I talked to Jonathan Budd about maybe, looking in 2025, doing some kind of tour with the top salespeople, so you guys can actually see the factory and see the process. It's very, I said this last week, when you walk through there, you guys together with us, you'll feel the pressure, like all these people working there depend on us selling modules, right? It makes it really real when you see people working in these factories, and that we're providing for their jobs essentially, right, by selling these modules. So many other manufacturers that just take imported cells and put them into modules in the US, they rent space in existing commercial warehouse space. And if the market changes on them or they get too many tariffs, they can just pull out. It's not a true investment. Like our investments are to build the factory specifically for that purpose. So it's a very different long-term commitment to the US. So the picture here is this actually factory that's being built, and you can see how long they are, where they're going to do each of the steps of the wafers, the cells, and then assembling them into modules. And this is in Cartersville, Georgia. So, so in total, we now have 8.4 gigawatts of module capacity in the US. Remember that first slide we looked at? What's the total US resi size? It was 5.6. So we could supply every single system in the US with QCells modules, right? Because we have 8.4 gigawatts of capacity. That just kind of shows you the massive scale of our production capacity here in the US. So we have 3.34 in cell capacity, where we do the ingots, wafers, cells, and we have 8.4 in modules. So that means we're still importing 5 gigawatts of cells from our Korean factory. But as it was actually just announced today that we're going to get an incentive to expand on this 3.3 gigawatts from the US government. So we will be adding to this 3.3 gigawatts. So pretty exciting stuff. Again, I think it matters to homeowners to know that, they're supporting jobs here in the US by installing QCells modules. We have some, and I'll send this to Jonathan so he can share with you guys. We have some pretty cool collateral that you can share with a homeowner that speak to this US manufacturing. So I used this during a roadshow I was on recently. How many modules do you guys think QCells makes in a day? I'm not going to make you guys guess, but it's 60,000 modules. It's a ton. Every single day, 60,000 modules. We also have a really cool video that kind of speaks to the US manufacturing. Do you guys think it will work, or should I just send a link, Jonathan?
If you want to try to play it, you may have to enable sharing your audio.
Okay. I'm going to start it. Because we always do, we have always teams, so I'm not super great at Google. Let me see if it works. Can you guys hear it or not?
So we don't have audio.
Maybe if you drop the link in the chat.
Okay.
People can watch it. Yeah, because you'd have to share audio.
Okay. I'm trying to see here. Audio. Share sound. Would that work?
Try sharing sound.
Does it work?
Sun will rise over towns from east to west.
Yeah.
In the heart of America, where innovation and resilience meet, a new chapter has begun. In a country where manufacturing has been in a retreat since 1945, we're bringing it back. The sleeping giant of American craftsmanship and production has awakened, and QCells is ready. Because we've been creating solar energy systems for over 2 decades. We've made the biggest commitment to solar power in manufacturing by any company in US history. we're putting our passion where our purpose is. In partnership with companies, communities, and homeowners, making solar easier, more reliable, more affordable, and simply better. And our complete energy solutions provide technology you can rely on, day or night, to transform and store energy for the power you need. It's an American renaissance, an American workforce using sustainable materials sourced in America. Empowered by American energy. And by our people, burning the midnight solar to uncover the next brilliant idea. Building solar energy that's making our communities more resilient and creating jobs across the country. Recognizing that every step, every panel, and every project paves the way for a brighter future. It's time. Time for transformation. Time to tap this country's unlimited capacity for reinvention. Time to deliver on the promise of tomorrow. Starting today.
Do we have a shorter version that I'll send in the email with the link, so you could share with a homeowner if you wanted to virtually. So Jonathan wanted me to talk a little bit about what the module offering will be next year. It's very similar to what you guys are used to selling already with us. So it's a 410 on the dual peak side, which is our 132 half cut. It's about 74 by 41 module. And then on the Q.TRON, we are currently manufacturing 430s. And Jonathan, I think I spoke to Green Tech yesterday. I think we're going to turn you guys back on effective 11/1, so November 1st.
Please do. I personally, that was my
Yeah.
go-to module on all my projects when it was available. I think it's incredible. It competes with REC, but it's American made. The
Yeah.
efficiency's off the charts and the price you couldn't beat. So
Yeah, and we just so you guys know why we didn't have them for a while. So when we were looking at where to set up factories, we were looking at Texas, we're looking at a bunch of different states, and one of the states we were looking at was Georgia. And we had some concerns about the grid being overextended, where we were, looking to build our factories. And Georgia Power assured us that they do transformer upgrades, not an issue. So we have been running 2 factories there for about 5-6 years now. And then that picture that I showed you of the factory that's being built, when that was added, we blew up transformers. We were out power in the factory for quite some time. And if you ever work with utility, it's, getting transformers upgraded and line work upgraded took several weeks. So we were not able to make any Q.TRON modules for a good month almost as a result, because we literally had no power. We have massive carports if you ever go to our factories with solar on it, but they're not connected. So southern, like places like Georgia and then they're not super solar friendly. So we've never gotten permission to operate on the carports, which is a little ironic, but so yeah, that's why you guys, we're told not to share Q.TRON, but we're back up and running and we're making 430s. So super excited for you guys to be able to turn those back on. And like you said, all our modules are made in the US, and it's a great story to share with homeowners. And then you guys have probably heard a lot of the lease providers are going to start pushing domestic content, and our Q.TRON modules are part of that effort as well. So we have domestic content avenues with both product lines. So so that's something that we're talking to Jonathan about, but how can you guys take advantage of that? So the Q.TRON line, like Jared mentioned, is a high efficiency product at not much of a premium compared to our 410 line, made here in the US. And one of the things that I want to point out that to some owners might matter, the Q.TRON is actually the first residential module in the US to have received EPEAT certification. So EPEAT is if you look it up online, and we have a flyer specifically on this that you can share with homeowners. EPEAT is kind of a cradle to grave, certification that computers, monitors, those kind of things all like have to go through that process. In general, solar does not, but we submitted with the Q.TRON and actually got certification. So we have the bronze EPEAT certification. And that just speaks to our sustainability goal. By making it in the US, we have a much better carbon footprint than if you are importing the stuff from all over the world, right? So definitely something I would share with homeowners that you can tell care about the environment and have, that speaks to them. Definitely something I would bring up, that this is basically one of the cleanest made modules you can buy in the US currently. Any questions on any of this? Like on the module side, it's pretty straightforward, not major changes for next year. We're just really good at making a lot of product, and we're gonna just be the steady Eddie for next year. It's kind of the name of the game for us. One other thing that you'll see from QCells is that we're evolving. We're not just a module manufacturer. Our first step into that was getting into the finance space. So you guys are familiar with our infant side of the business. That's our sister company to QCells. We're both owned by Hanwha. And infant is getting into the TPO space. So I think we're talking with Jonathan Budd about you guys potentially carrying that. But we're also getting into different hardware. So we are getting into an AC module, which means that we're going to be making a microinverter, just like Enphase makes, and we're making a battery, just like Franklin, Tesla, everybody else. So we're expanding, and the appeal, obviously, to a homeowner is it's all the same brand, one warrantor holding the warranty, right? So this is, I'm going to show you just real quick. It's nothing you guys carry yet. It's going to be further out, but just wanted to show you this is the AC module where we have a QCells microinverter on the back of a Q.TRON module. So pretty excited about that. It's another path to get to domestic content because we get the same credit that Enphase does for making the micro. The micros are made in Michigan. So more about that later in 2025. If you guys do onboard with us on the infant lease, and these will be on there, it's going to be a really appealing product because we're going to pay good rates for using domestic content product on the infant TPO. So not there yet, but it's some pretty exciting stuff that we could be partnering on for 2025. And then we're also do a battery. So I wanted to show you guys that both DC and AC coupled. Currently not partnering with you on that either, but that could all change next year if you guys do on board with our lease. And then on the loan side, I'm assuming you guys are familiar. We have a 30-year loan if you do infant with QCell modules. So for a lot of people, that kind of helps to sell against PPAs. And then when you do infant and QCell modules together, I don't know if you guys are aware, but it actually extends the warranty on the modules to 30 years. So we have special spec sheets that show that extended 30-year warranty that I'll make sure to share with Jonathan. He can share with the team. So it gives you some carrots for, partnering with QCells and infant together. Any questions? I really want to just kind of close up, and I really appreciate your time and thank you for selling QCells.
What is the warranty on your battery pack?
The warranty on our battery is 15 years.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
And does it, if you go together, does it extend it for some, like you mentioned that?
No, it doesn't. On a battery, there's no benefit to doing it through infant at this point. No.
And Salil, just to be, straight, we don't offer it right now. Just
I know.
Understand that.
Yeah,
Okay, all right.
it's something we're
Just
talking about maybe
sure
for next year. Yeah.
I just want to asking about that. Thank you.
Yeah,
Perfect.
you make
And then hey, really quick, you guys, we got about 5 minutes for questions. I have a hard stop here at about 10:55. So yeah, if you have some questions, raise your hand like Joseph. You could drop it in the chat.
Did I hear something at the conference that if you do NFIN in the Hanwha QCells that there's an additional 10% federal tax incentive?
No.
I don't know where did I
The
get
additional
confused?
10% you guys have brought up, that's for commercial on
Okay.
domestic products.
Yeah,
All
so
right.
the TPO providers can take the 10% as well. So it's for 1 megawatt or bigger commercial projects, or the TPO providers can aggregate it, they take the 10%. So what you'll see is, you may have heard, Sonova is making everybody do domestic content, but keeping the 10% themselves. And
Rude.
it is more costly to buy a domestic content product because it costs more to do it in the US. But NFIN and others are going to pass on the 10%, like we're going to all share it. So the idea would be it benefits you guys, it benefits the homeowner. That's, in my opinion, how it should be done. And that's how I think the vast majority of the TPO providers are going to do it. So there'll be an incentive and it will show up in better rates is probably how most of them are going to do it.
I appreciate you guys sharing in that because, yeah, it's going to hopefully force Sonova to rethink their strategy. I think they were probably hoping that all the financiers were going to keep that extra 10.
Yeah.
But that's the great thing about a free market, right? It drives
Yes.
competition.
Exactly. So
No sense they have the lower monthly payment compared to other TPOs. So we'll see how it all shakes out. And we need our partners to be profitable no matter what. Hey,
yes.
I had a quick question, then we'll go to Leonid. The power warranty, the linear power warranty on a Q.TRON, is it 90%, 92%? Is it higher than the other
It's like
panel?
90.5, basically. Yeah. 90.5.
Yeah, it has a point, correct me, is it 0.33% degradation rate?
Yeah, annually, yes. Mhm.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, that's phenomenal, you
Yeah.
guys. 0.33%.
I mean, there's like, you can see Maxon is a little bit better than that, but you pay so much for it. It's just not worth it. I think that's where the Q.TRON really hits the sweet spot. It's a really good premium module, but not at an outrageous price. So.
All right, Leonid, you have a question?
What's the
And then
market
we'll go
share?
Matthew, Tiffany, and then we gotta wrap this up.
What's the market share of QCell in residential market in United States, and what is the number 2 and number 3? What's the market share?
So
Earlier,
market
as you
shares,
saw, it was 30%.
yeah.
She shared that earlier.
Let me show you this.
And then I think
30%.
number
IC was
two?
like 9. God, I'm good.
Yeah. And we have the same on the commercial side too, by the way. And as a manufacturer, you need to be strong in both sides so that you can run your lines full time. And we have that. We have 30% plus share in the commercial space too.
So you by far the biggest one, the most common one, 30%.
Yes.
Literally more than the next 4 combined.
Yes.
That's incredible. All right, Matthew, what you got, brother?
Thanks, guys. And thanks for being here today. And I was wondering if you could talk a little bit to the like split cell technology and just like the layout of the panel and the advantages that it has over some other panels. I apologize if you spoke to that at all.
No, we did not. So,
okay.
And if we could do it in 60 seconds.
Okay, yeah, I'll try to do it quick. So we've kind of basically silicon, which is what every cell is made of, we've kind of neared its theoretical limits. So what you see module manufacturers do now is, if you look at modules 10 years ago, there were like white diamonds where the cells met, or there were white around the sides, there were white areas. All manufacturers are now eliminating all the little white space and half cut cells allow you to do that because it allows you to lay one cell over the other and eliminate the white space. And all this is as a game. You'll see module manufacturers change dimensions. Cells are getting bigger. It's all an effort to make higher wattage without really making them more efficient, because the silicon is a kind of maximized. We can't get more out of it other than playing dimension games or reducing the number of white areas on a module. Because the next technology that will be coming is going to be a layered cell with perovskite and then silicon, a tandem cell, and that will take us to 35% type efficiencies. So the same module that's a 410 today would be like a 500 watt module. So that's truly like a technology improvement. Everything we've done it doesn't matter what brand over the last couple of years, it's just optimizing for space, but it's not necessarily increasing the efficiency because we just can't get more out of silicon. So half cut cells is a way, again, to get more watts out of a module, essentially. And it does have some advantages from a warranty perspective as well.
Thanks.
But it's
All right,
not
guys.
necessarily like a technology improvement. But Q.TRON is TopCon. That's a different type of cell. That's actually technology improvement.
All right. Hey, you guys, thank you. Everybody drop a big thanks. And thank you, Helga, for coming on here. We love QCells.
Anytime.
I'm a huge fan. It's my favorite panel. I've probably sold it on 70, 80% of my projects.
That's awesome. Thank
Love
you.
the fact that you guys are took manufacturing in the USA seriously, get ahead of the curve. Everybody likes USA made. And the future looks bright with QCells and Hanwha. So everybody.
Thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much. We'll have you on again. Obviously, we have a lot of questions and so looking forward to what we have in 2025.
Sounds good. Thanks, everyone.
All right, you guys, with that being said, we're going to wrap up this Tuesday training. I appreciate you guys all coming on, and we'll see you out there.
Thank you, Helga. Thank you, QCell.
Bye,
we will
guys.
share the recording and her information so you guys can get your questions answered and get the PowerPoints. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.